Hello. All right, so the next thing in your notebook is the Create It, which is the weather report that I had you do online instead. So you're not going to do anything on this page that says Create It or on this page, because that we did online. Okay, so we are at the Explain It page. All right, so as far as the Explain It, you're going to be looking at a weather map, and you're going to use the key to understand what we mean when we hear on a weather report that there's a low pressure zone or a high pressure zone or a cold or a warm front. Okay? And then you're going to use that weather map to describe what the weather looks like in some of the states that are in the chart. Okay? All right, so if you turn over to this page, okay, so here's our United States weather map. I want you to go ahead and click on the image that I uploaded for you, and you're going to need a blue and a red, either colored pencil, crayon, pens, okay? And you'll see in the one that is posted online that they are in color. So for example, this low pressure, warm, moist air associated with storms and strong winds has a red L. So up here, I'm going to go ahead and shade this in red. And I know now that when I see this, that a low pressure area is there. And that means that the air is warm, it's moist, and it's going to be associated with storms and strong winds. So when there's a low pressure zone over top of an area, that's the type of weather that's going to exist there. And then you'll also notice that in red, you'll see this part. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and color these red. And you should be doing the same thing in your notebook. So those, when you have a line and the bumps, it means that there's this front and it's moving this direction, the way that it's pointed. And the red bumps mean a warm front. So that means that there's warm air moving toward the cold air. So it makes the area warm and it moves in the direction of the semicircles. That's why we drew those arrows like that. Okay. All right, so you should have all of those things labeled. And then we have a low pressure zone over here as well. Okay. All right, so then you'll see in blue, blue is our high pressure zone. So you should be doing this with your pencil as well. Color pencils, crayons, markers, pens. So a high pressure zone is the opposite. Instead of being warm, it's cool. Instead of being moist air, it's dry air. And this is going to be fair weather and light wind. So high pressure is when we have good weather. That's what we like. Okay, so now go back up onto your map and we're going to go ahead and label in blue our high pressure zones. So we got one up here and we've got one down here. So those are our high pressure zones. So those areas we would expect the weather to be cool, dry air, nice weather, a light breeze. Okay. And then we also have these blue, now pointy fronts. So we're going to go ahead and color that one, color this one, and make sure yours isn't a mess. Okay, make sure you can actually read what's there. And those are affiliated with a cold front. So that means we have cold air moving. It makes the area cool, and same thing, moves in the direction of the triangles. So we're going to go ahead and add some more arrows that way. This front is moving down this way. Okay. didn't color my warm front down here, so make sure you do that. Okay, so everything should be color coded. You should have the low pressures in red and the warm front in red, the high pressure and the cold front both in blue. And you have them labeled up here, and you have your arrows, the direction that they're moving. And one last thing that you can see also is when you have your pressure zones, you can see these arrows are showing which direction that front is spinning. So this one's spinning, this one's spinning, and this one's spinning. So they're all spinning clockwise. Okay. You can see up here is where New York is. We live over here under this low pressure zone. Okay, you can see the other states we're kind of familiar with: Florida, Texas, California, Maine. Okay, so you're going to use this map that now you've color coded, and you're going to flip over to the explain it side. You are going to look at the city. Excuse me, they're just giving you a state. They're not giving you a city. So you're going to look at the state. So Alabama, you're going to go and find where Alabama is on the map. And then you're going to look and see based on where it's located. So here's Alabama. You're going to describe what the weather is going to be like there. Okay, so you're going to have to look at the different things on the weather map that are near it and make a prediction about what type of weather Alabama's going to have. Okay, so on this side, you're going to describe what the weather is going to be like. And again, I'm not asking for 1 word or 2 words. I'm asking you for a complete description. Is it going to be windy? Is it going to be warm? Is it going to be cold? Is the air going to be moist? Is it going to be dry? Is there a front that's moving in? It's hot right now, but a cold front is moving in. And then over on this side, using colored pencils or crayons or whatever, I want a color picture of what the weather will be like. Okay, so for example, if I looked up Alabama and it's going to be a warm front, and it's going to be low pressure, so we're going to have storms and moist air. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw Alabama. Maybe I'm going to draw a house, and I'm going to have the trees, and I'm going to have a lot of clouds, maybe some lightning and raindrops or something like that. Okay, and you can draw whatever it is that you want it to look like to represent what the weather. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing for Nevada, Wyoming, Ohio, and Nebraska. Okay, again, like I tell you always, and some of you are doing a very good job, some of you not so much. Do your best work. Okay? All right, good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.